Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Aquaman, issue number 43. This feels like it's a much bigger than average size comic book. Maybe there's a couple of extra pages in here. Maybe it's just me enamored with how good this comic book was. Brand new team on this book. This is issue 43, but as long as you understand that Aquaman lost his memory in the Drowned Earth series, then you'll understand that this is absolutely a jumping on point. Aquaman has lost his memory. Let it go at that. You can jump on this comic book brand new. This was a really good comic book. And yeah, all new Aquaman. I'm good with it. Okay, so let's get into this, guys. Unspoken Water, part 1 of 5. Kelly Sue DeConnick is the writer. Robson Roca is on pencils. Danielle Henriquez is the inker. Sonny Cho is the colorist. Clayton Cowles is on letters. Roca, Henriquez, and Ro did the cover. And there's a variant cover by Nicoletta Scott and Annette Kwok. I love this. Aquaman was created by Paul Norris. I don't remember if they'd been doing that for the Aquaman comic book, but whatever. I'm glad that it's here this issue. You need to let us know who created these characters. It's important. Anybody who's a fan of these characters, anybody who's watching any review, and guys, honestly, like I don't like to cast shade on other guys unless they're comic skaters who are trying to rip comic books because they're a bunch of little sissy man children. But the point is, even if you're one of the, your favorite YouTubers out there, who are sitting there doing their comic book reviews, if they're not telling you who's making this comic book, and I'm talking about telling you the people responsible for bringing you this comic book, they're wrong. They're wrong. They're also just a little bit wrong. Peppered with a bit of wrong on top of that. Just, with a wrong on top. Anyway, so, Aquaman lost his memory. So now he's being called Andy, because apparently when he washed up on shore, when he was brought on shore, he's all like, hey man, yeah, I don't remember my name, but it's something with an A. But I've got all these cool skills that I can do, like building things. He's kind of strong, but he stays close to the water, so the moisture still, hooks him up, but he still goes into the water up to like his waist, but it seems almost as if he's afraid to actually go into the water. Now he's on this island, this crazy island out in the middle of nowhere. And Kaylee is this girl who keeps on going out and staring into the sea. Now this is crazy, man. This is crazy. There's these people, this guy and this girl, who, there's actually more than just that on this island though, but they're very interesting, weird sort of characters. Okay, I'm going to make a comparison here. I don't play Red Dead Redemption 2, but anybody who has, I've watched I've watched all of the live plays for it, all right? And easily, in my opinion, the best video game ever. And I kind of do want to get a PS4 just so I can play that, because holy crap, greatest game ever that I've ever done, watched a live playthrough. Why am I saying all of this? Dutch van der Linde is probably one of my favorite bad guys that I've ever seen, because he doesn't come off as a bad guy at all. But you know that he's the antagonist some way, somehow, right? Amazing character, this Dutch van der Linde. Here, these characters, while they don't live up to the Dutch van der Linde model, they do have that way of, in my opinion, really being endeared to you. And when you find out that they're actually the bad guys later on, it doesn't change the fact that I still really like these characters. Okay. Kelly Sue DeConnick. I was so worried about her jumping on this comic book after this amazing run that we had. Absolutely amazing run that we've had on Aquaman. In my opinion, better than the Jeff Johns run. Oh yeah, I'm going to take a sip of water and allow you guys to think about that, because my throat is about to start coughing. If I were a comedian, you guys would have been clapping while I was doing that. Think about it. Look, dude, I haven't even turned the page yet. These characters are so freaking believable. It's insanity. Not just believable, but you feel for these characters. You love, or I don't know if you can even hate any of these characters, but you're going to love these characters. Nama, this goddess. First appearance of a lot of characters in this comic book, guys. I'm telling you, there's a lot of first appearances in here. Like, Aquaman is the only one who's not really first appearancing. And even Nama who's technically, this is her first full appearance, but she's had a cameo previously in Justice League, I believe. Nah, all of this, man. Oh, just absurd. You got to get this comic book, guys. Everything that happens in this comic book is just so damn believable. The way that Callie actually pulled him out, the name that she wants to give to Arthur, because no, Andy just doesn't seem right. Oh, the name, you know, it has a good meaning for the name, but it doesn't seem to match you. You need something more regal than just Andy, you know? Like Arthur is, of course, more regal, but so is the name that she gives him. All of this, amazing. And when you find out who this Callie actually is, I was shocked. I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't actually see that coming. There's nothing that I actually saw coming in this comic book. Oh, man. You want to talk about an image, like you want to talk about the art a little bit. It can't just all be about Kelly Sue, all right? The art in here, man. Holy crap. So, Roca and Henriquez and Ro, look at this. This is the one little tiny bit of a hint of a memory that Aquaman has when he's in this. This is beautiful. This is so damn beautiful. And then to see that he's actually scared of it, because sometimes you can be scared of something that looks familiar when you're starting to get used to this life that you're in. Look, I have absolutely no problem with the Nightwing story right now. I know a lot of people are really angry at Nightwing, the Nightwing comic book right now. I don't have that problem. I really don't. I like the Nightwing comic book. I like the memory loss aspect that's going on in there. I'm totally okay with it. There are a few characters in the comic books right now who are dealing with a memory loss protocol. But all that being said, even with just this first issue, this is my favorite memory loss book so far. Why? Because it just makes so much sense. Rather than trying to deal with, I got these, kind of got these memories and I don't remember them and I don't really care and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to, I'm going to change my name to Rick and stuff like that. That almost does seem silly to me in light of how well this was done. He saw a hint of an actual memory and it scared him. It frightened him. This is such a well put together comic book. I'm having a hard time finding any fault in it whatsoever. That's how good it is. This is solid writing. This is beautiful art. This is, yeah, the comic book's in good hands. Done. For my fears to be assuaged before even the second issue, usually it would go to like 3 to 5 issues, maybe a full arc. You know what I'm saying? 5 issues for this particular arc, but you get what I'm saying, the typical 6-issue arc. For it to just go away in the first issue, I didn't even get finished with the first issue. I'm like, oh no, this is perfect. I'm so glad that this team is on this book. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that says a lot. And I'm very critical of my Aquaman comic books because he is one of my all-time favorite characters. So, says a lot, dude. Beautiful comic book, man, in every way, shape, and form imaginable. Absolutely great. Jump on this comic book. Again, lots of first appearances in this. Arthur's the only one who's not a first appearance in this. First appearance of his memory loss. How about that? First appearance of Andy. Good comic book. Pick it up. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.